Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg here. It is Thursday, the 15th of February, and this is my second video today. I uploaded one earlier today. If you haven't already seen it, I've popped a link up in the right-hand corner, should you wish to go and have a listen. But in this particular video, I was actually going to have a day off today, but things are coming in thick and fast with regards to the Harkles, and I physically can't keep up. So let's just roll on, shall we? Very little gets me flabbergasted with these two anymore. I've too long in the tooth. I've been doing this for far too long to actually get shocked. But this has shocked me. It really, really has. When their website dropped, and they clapped back via sources, cough cough them, that Sussex was their name and that they have every right to use it, my spidey senses started going, thinking something is afoot here. And lo and behold, something was afoot, and it's this. Meet Archie and Lilibet Sussex. That's right, ladies and gents, they are no longer Archie and Lilibet Mountbatten-Windsor. They are now just simply Archie and Lilibet Sussex. So the House of Sussex is taking over. Yep. Please help me. It was reported last night that Harry and Meghan have adopted the Sussex title as a surname for their children as they unify their family, and they are now known as Sussex, Archie and Lilibet Sussex. Honestly, these pair... But can they legally do it? Do they have a right to do it? Technically, kind of. It's a really, really grey area. Now, when they were both born, the Queen was the monarch, and all her descendants were Mountbatten-Windsors. But Harry and William used Wales because their father was the Prince of Wales. Now, Charlotte, Louis and George are now also known as Wales because their father and mother, Prince and Princess of Wales, are just that, the Prince and Princess of Wales. Prior to the King ascending to the throne, they were the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, and their children were known as the Cambridge children. They were George, Charlotte and Louis Cambridge. On their birth certificates, it says the name and surname. This is George, for example, His Royal Highness Prince George Alexander Louis of Cambridge. Princess Charlotte was Princess Charlotte Elizabeth Diana of Cambridge. And as you would expect, Louis was His Royal Highness Prince Louis Arthur Charles of Cambridge. See where I'm going here? Now, I can't give you Lilibet's birth certificate because, hey, we've never been privy to that information because she was born in America and us plebs don't get a right to see that. However, we can see Archie's birth certificate because they were working rules at the time and it was marked as part of the public domain as citizens of Britain, royal children's announcements and birth certificates get shown. This was his birth certificate, and he's named as Archie Harrison Mountbatten-Windsor. Now, can you remember that massive hoo-ha with regards to Oprah? And my child's not going to get a title. My children aren't going to get a title. Yeah, well, that's because the Queen was still on the throne, and as soon as Charles ascended the throne, then they were entitled to be Prince and Princess. Well, a lot of people said that they wouldn't use, but hey, ranked not linked. Sorry, that's the wrong way. Meghan wants to be linked, not ranked. I keep getting that wrong. With all her antics, I keep thinking that she wants to be ranked. However, that hoo-ha, once the king ascended the throne and Harry is then the sovereign's child and that his children are the sovereign's grandchildren, they had the right to use the words and the title Prince and Princess, which they accepted gleefully with their mucky little hands going, gimme, 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 gimme. But this is where it all gets a bit murky. Harry and Meghan are saying that their surname is Sussex and that they have now styled their children the Prince and Princess of Sussex, much like George, Charlotte and Louis of Cambridge. Now, this has upset a lot of people, me included. Now, a source told The Times The reality behind the news site is very simple. It's a hub for the work the Sussexes do, and it reflects the fact the family have, since the King's coronation, the same surname for the first time. That's a big deal for any family. It represents their unification, and it's a proud moment. A representative for the Duke and Duchess was contacted for comment, but a source close to the couple previously defended the use of the royal titles in the new website, saying Prince Harry and Meghan are the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. It is a fact. It is their surname and family name. But they've moved from Mountbatten-Windsor for the children to Sussexes. Does this mean they've changed it by deed poll? Because surely that's the only real way to change your names? I don't know how it works in America. I know how it works here. You have to physically change your name by deed poll, and that will change your birth certificate. Or so I'm led to believe anyway. But the switch has caused quite a lot of people, including me, like I said, to suddenly go, huh? The surname Mountbatten-Windsor was decreed by the Privy Council, the official advisors to the late Queen Elizabeth II, in 1960, and applied to male line descendants of Her Majesty and Prince Philip. And Prince Philip was very, very proud that his name, Mountbatten, was linked to Windsor, and he fought hard to get it. For me personally, this is a humongous slap in the face to Harry's grandfather, Prince Philip, that he's shunned Mountbatten-Windsor. And this is I still can't get over that they're using the name Sussex as a surname. It's a very strange thing to suddenly do, and it worries me that this is the start of the monetisation of the children, or at least trying to. Another worry of mine is that, as the title of this video says, House of Sussex, this is what they're trying to create, the House of Sussex. But there is precedent for this, and I have to admit that Prince William and Catherine's children were known as the Cambridge children and the House of Cambridge. But it does seem rather weird to me that they have stepped away from royal life, or royal working life, I should say, because they're still hanging on to everything royal, aren't they? But it does seem rather a weird move, since Harry himself and all their gubbins about generational pain is going to do this to his children. Maybe he thinks it's their God-given right to be named this. I don't know, and it's confusing the hell out of me. I've gone back and forth, and I have searched everywhere to see whether or not this is allowed, and I physically can't find it. I do find it rather odd that even if they are entitled to do it, and we will find out soon whether or not they're entitled to do it, that they are changing the children's names to reflect House of Sussex. I say that in jest. I don't mean that, as in Archie and Lilibet Sussex, when their birth certificates will say Mountbatten-Windsor. Now, Archie is of an age that he understands what his name is and what his surname will be, as with most children at his age. Imagine sitting down, well, Archie, you're not Archie Mountbatten-Windsor anymore. All those years that you've been Archie Mountbatten-Windsor, you are now Archie Sussex. But why, Daddy? Because... And then what do you say? He doesn't know his family. I mean, come off it. That's got to be a really big head fuck, hasn't it? Sorry for swearing, but I'm really quite annoyed. And you know me, I don't swear very often. Now, we have precedent for this as well with regards to the Yorks. They were known professionally as Beatrice and Eugenie York. It's not on their birth certificate. They are just Beatrice, Elizabeth Mary, Princess of York, and it was Princess Eugenie Victoria Helena, Princess of York. But both of them used the surname York in a professional capacity. Now, if you look at the royal family website, this is how they are styled. So this is the line of succession. Okay, we've got the sovereign, i.e. King Charles. Then we have the Prince of Wales. We have Prince George of Wales, Prince Charlotte of Wales, Prince Louis of Wales. So they have gone from Cambridge up to Wales because their father and their mother are now the Prince and Princess of Wales. We have the Duke of Sussex. I nearly said sausage then, I'm so sorry. Anyway, Duke of Sussex, then Prince Archie of Sussex, Prince Lilibet of Sussex. So they are no longer Mountbatten-Windsor. Unfortunately, according to the royal family website, they are of Sussex. Now, they were previously Mountbatten-Windsor because they weren't prince and princess. Now that the king has ascended to the throne, they are now prince and princess of Sussex. Gone are the days where Harry is just Harry anymore. Can you remember that? When he just said, just call me just Harry. No. They are clinging on to their own titles and their children's titles like their life depends upon it. So, while on their birth certificate it may well say Mountbatten-Windsor, according to the royal family website, they are of Sussex. But does that mean that their surname is of Sussex? Or is it still Mountbatten-Windsor? Well, according to Harry and Meghan, their surname is of Sussex. Sussex, Archie and Lilibet Sussex. And again, this is the grey area, and this is what has got a lot of people upset, is it a surname or is it a title? Nobody really has the definitive answer. According to their birth certificate that we have access to, they are, or he is, Archie, is Mountbatten-Windsor. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they haven't got their children's names changed by deed poll. It's just all so messy, really, isn't it? And it just screams, don't take our titles away because we've named our kids of Sussex now. Something just popped into my head about the Handmaid's Tale Offred and... If you haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale, it's bloody brilliant. But Offred and off Joseph and off Sussex. Sorry, that was a massive tangent. I do apologise. But it's kind of funny. Mountbatten is a surname. Sussex is a title. But according to the royal family website, they are of Sussex. So does that then mean that Harry and Meghan are entitled to style their children's surnames of Sussex? The answer is, I haven't got a clue. And believe me, this isn't for the lack of trying. I have tried to research this, and I've come up with absolutely nothing of factual evidence apart from referring to what's happened prior, and even that's a whole messy mess. So I'm going to revert to the royal family website. Yes, I mentioned about the line of succession that Archie and Lilibet are of Sussex. But you remember in my previous video, I referred to this particular page that was with regards to the royal family name. And I mentioned this in that video. There is a slight bit at the bottom that basically says that it was therefore declared in the Privy Council that the Queen's descendants, other than those with the style of Royal Highness and the title of Prince and Princess, or female descendants who marry, would carry the name Mountbatten-Windsor. This reflected Prince Philip's surname, and in 1947, when Prince Philip of Greece became neutralised, he assumed the name of Philip Mountbatten as a lieutenant in the Royal Navy. The effect of the declaration was that all the Queen's children, on occasion when they needed a surname, would have the surname Mountbatten-Windsor. For the most part, members of the royal family who are entitled to style and the dignity of HRH Prince and Princess do not need a surname. But if at any time any of them do need a surname, such as upon marriage, the surname is Mountbatten-Windsor. The surname Mountbatten-Windsor first appeared on an official document on the 14th of November 1973 in the marriage register at Westminster Abbey for the marriage of Princess Anne and Captain Mark Phillips. A proclamation on the royal family name by reigning monarch is not statutory. Unlike an Act of Parliament, it does not pass into law of the land. Such as a proclamation is not binding on succeeding reigning sovereigns, or does it set a precedent which must be followed by reigning sovereigns who come after, unless the Prince of Wales chooses to alter the present decision when he becomes king. Obviously, he's now become king. He will continue to be of House of Windsor, and his grandchildren will use the surname Mountbatten-Windsor. That's what the royal family says, that unless the king chooses to alter the present decision, he will continue to be the House of Windsor, and his grandchildren, i.e. Lilibet and Archie, will use the surname Mountbatten-Windsor. Do you see how complex it is? That's from the royal family website. Yet Harry and Meghan are now using Sussex because on the line of succession they are of Sussex. But I do know that Harry and Meghan made a massive fuss of saying they wanted to modernise the monarchy, blah, blah, blah. This isn't modernising the monarchy at all. This is clinging on to those very, very monetisable titles. So much for breaking the generational trauma and wanting their kids to have a normal life away from the royal family. Just, make them of Sussex, shall we? Cha-ching! I'm going to finish this video on a oh my god moment. Obviously, Harry and Meghan have touched down in Canada. to make sure that everybody knows that it's 1 year till the Invictus Games. They've been filmed, they've got a camera crew with them, of course, and photographed lolling around in the snow and all sorts. But it was this very interesting piece that I wanted to talk about, and it's from the Daily Mail. This is the little snippet. Exonerated for their provocative decision to relaunch their website as sussex.com, with its homepage labelled The Office of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the Californian-based couple remain eager to put those less well acquainted with royal etiquette immediately at their ease. I did make sure to ask how I should be addressing them when they get here, explains veteran Canadian broadcaster Scott Moore, the new CEO of the Invictus Games, which Harry and Meghan are promoting in Canada this week. I was told the simple sir and ma'am is fine, adds Moore. Mum? Mum? Meghan wants to be addressed as mum. Oh God, I'm wheezing. Mum! I'm sorry, but the only mum I will ever recognise is the late Queen. And that's my final answer on that one. Mum! Oh, she really does annoy me. So, let's get this down to business, shall we? What do you all think of Harry and Meghan changing their children's names to Sussex? Archie and Lilibet Sussex. Do you think, well, that's their right, that's their name? Or do you think, no, it's not a surname, it's a title? Do you think that they are allowed to, should do, shouldn't do? Should they? What's going on? I don't understand. I've lost the plot today. And how do you feel about Mom? All right, Mom? No. It's not happening. Not happening. As always, I'd love to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.